Before the Great Schism, the mantle of the Arbiter was bestowed to Sangheili at the lowest point in their lives, warriors bereft of honour becoming Arbiters to remove the stain of their ignominy through death in battle. But it was not always this way. Before the Covenant, Arbiter was a title that commanded fear and respect in equal measure. Serving as kings and judges, the Arbiters were warriors without equal. Centuries before the Sangheili achieved spaceflight, a tyrannical Arbiter, Ursu Labat, also known as the Tyrant of Kivro, reigned over the continent of Kivro on Sanghelios with an iron fist, until his eventual downfall at the hands of a coalition of Kydons known as the Swords of Sanghelios. In 938 BCE, an Arbiter known as Vema Togad, later known as Prophet's Bane, would spark the War of Beginnings, leading to the eventual founding of the Covenant. The Sanchoyum did not overlook the important role the Arbiter could play in their new Covenant. Many Arbiters would follow, the most famous of which during this period being Jet Likmati, the Hunter of Hunters, who helped successfully incorporate the Legolo into the then nascent Covenant Empire. Every subsequent Arbiter who perished would have their armour recovered and their remains interred in the Mausoleum of the Arbiter on High Charity. When a new Arbiter was appointed in the 2100 CE, this Arbiter would be different to all the others that preceded him. Fal Shafami was a traditionalist who believed the Sangheili were being led down a path of over-reliance on the Sanchoyum, sapping them of their cultural spirit and gradually eroding what remained of their history. In 2152 CE, Shafami rejected the Covenant, its beliefs, and the religion of the Forerunners. Summoned by the hierarch, Prophet of Solemnity, to affirm his belief in the Great Journey, Shafami raged against the Prophet before proclaiming the entire religion a lie. For this act, Shafami was branded a heretic. Akas Sukari, a member of Shafami's clan and Solemnity's chief enforcer, plotted Shafami's demise. After several failed assassination attempts, including Shafami single-handedly slaughtering an entire Covenant army that had been sent after him, Sukari succeeded in murdering Shafami's wife, Han, goading a grief-stricken Shafami into facing him in single combat. Meeting on top of a large foreigner structure, Shafami and Sukari's duel was but brief, a single stroke, and both Sangheili were slain, with Shafami's last thoughts being of his wife. Now seen as tainted, the Arbiter was reduced in status and prestige, instead granted to Sangheili, who had suffered a grievous blow to their honour, and of which death in battle was the only way to cleanse themselves. This proved convenient for the Sanchoyum. Any Sangheili that grew too powerful could be dishonoured, appointed as Arbiters, and sent off to gleefully and willingly die in battle against the enemies of the Covenant, allowing the hierarchs to rid themselves of any rivals or threats to their power. The title of Arbiter would remain a mark of shame until the Great Schism in 2552 CE, when the most recent Arbiter, Thel 'Vadam, brought about the end of the Covenant, bringing honour back to the title of the Arbiter.